Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a little fabrication job to do. Probably ain't gonna get it done today. I just got off work. I don't feel like doing it, but gotta see what kind of material we got to build it out of. Gonna be building a kayak trailer. We got a bunch of kayaks, but I used to haul them around in my dump trailer. Ended up getting rid of the dump trailer, so gotta come up with another solution for getting them back and forth to where we're going kayaking at. So I'm just going to build a little quick and simple kayak trailer to haul them around on. And I don't know, I'm going to be building it out of scrap because I ain't going to buy nothing for it. So got to see what we got in my pile over here. Just a bunch of junk basically. Sometimes I can get some good use out of it. So I know we got material plenty good enough to build. That's what we'll build our axle out of here. Really don't need nothing that heavy though. I wish I had a piece of 2x2 square tubing. That'd be about perfect. Piece of 5-inch channel. That'd be a little too much for a kayak. Quarter tubing, a little too light. I don't know. We may have to go buy a stick of 2-inch tubing. Lightweight little I-beam, but probably too short, unfortunately. Little biscuit gravy in there. I'm ready to turn them into sausage and bacon. Get that. I don't know for nothing. That looks good either. That's all rusty. I don't know. We may have to go buy a piece of metal. I hate to. If we could. No, I'm going to be out of square tubing. I'm going to say we could build it out of this. I forget what that is. I can't remember. But what I used to build the axles for the sawmills out of this right here. 2-inch tube. I don't know what it is. Can't remember. I got that 4-inch galvanized tube in there, but I'm going to use that for my posts on the lean-to for the shop. I'm going to use those posts and those big 6-inch I-beams there. Try to make it as open as possible because I'm going to park the sawmill in there. Got those I-beams there, that's a little too much. Well, as bad as I hate to, we may be going and buying a piece of metal. Look at that old axle there. One of the spindles is bent real bad on it. That might be promising. Might could use something like that. With these old axles. Those are eventually going to go on my car trailer if I get around to that project. 3-inch angle. I really want to use that though. Oh wait. We got a piece of 2.5-inch. That would work. That would probably work. Ain't got much for junk left there. Probably use this stuff. 3/4-inch rod. I'll probably use that for a little thing to actually set the kayak on. Then we can use these right here for the uprights, maybe, if they're long enough. I have to get a tape measure and just kind of get an idea of how far they need to be apart. And we got this piece too. Probably use that one because that one's a piece of junk. That one's a pretty good one there. It never had no welds on it. This one's had junk welds on it. It's another junk pile. Keep hitting my little shed out here. I think. There's a hub, stink bug. Supposed to have some of those laying around. Anyway, I got one new one. I got that axle out there with the bent one. The other side's still good, so I'm gonna just take this hub, load our axle, and just fix that axle out there. Take the bent spindle out and put that one in it. It's got to be, don't need to be nowhere near as wide as what it is now. Let's see. Oh, we got some lug nuts in there too. Yeah. I thought I had two brand new ones. I was going to build a whole new axle instead of trying to use that one. Saddles. I need to clean this junk up. It's hard to find anything. Oh, there's saddles there. I got leaf springs somewhere too. Yep, right there. I have to excuse my mess in here. This little shed here. It's kind of just my little storage thing. When we moved, well, everything just kind of got jumbled up. Leaf U-bolts, leaf springs, whole 9 yards there. New hub. And what else we need? I wish I had 2 brand new spindles. Well, I guess I don't. Well, I went and got her axle and I was actually wrong. It's not the spindle that's bent. It's the axle tube. So we're gonna cut all that off anyway to make this tube shorter. So we'll be able to salvage that spindle there. I bought this off of a guy on Marketplace. I could give him 50 bucks. Yeah, I'll give him 50 bucks for it. Come with leaf springs and all. So wasn't too bad of a deal. Dexter axle. I figured I would. I was building a bunch of sawmills, so I figured I'd use it for something, one of them. But just kept building my own axles because I had all those brand new. I bought a whole pallet of those brand new spindles at a thrift store of all places, like one of those pallet return stores. Thrift store too. A whole pallet of them, and I've just what I ended up with left right there, just one, I guess. I might have another one stashed somewhere else. I don't know. Got too much junk, can't keep up with all of it. That just keeps getting better. We got a brand new set of bolts for hanging axle. We got our, I don't know what those are called, but they mount on the leaf springs. What else we need? Wheels and tires. Let's see what we got. Got a brand new set. I bought a whole pallet of wheels and tires when I was building sawmills, and I got 2 of them left, so worked out pretty good. Be perfect for a kayak trailer, and I ain't gonna have to spend very much money on it. Something else I need, I gotta go buy a hitch. What else? A hitch and a set of lights, I think. That should be all I need. Maybe. We got the most expensive part of it here anyway. Wheels and tires and the axle, so we're good there. Always got a good idea what we're looking at as far as measurements. This is mine and my wife's kayak here. This is some real cheapos from Walmart. Looking at about 32 inches wide. So our trailer's gonna have to be we'll probably build it 70 inches. We got these two, then we got some for the kids as well. We got the kids' kayaks. We got three of these, I think. But we're gonna have to be buying another one because we got another kid coming up that's about ready to have his own kayak. Then we need about 11 inches of spacing in between each level. Maybe. I didn't measure those others. I'll have to go back and measure them. Yeah, about the same. Huh. 11 inches of spacing. Added one more thing to the pile of parts we got. I think we got enough stuff to build something. It may not be too pretty, but we'll get the kayaks back and forth to the lake or the creek or whatever we're going to do. Either way, we'll get started on it. Alright, so this is going to be our tongue. I know it's way overkill for kayaks, but what I got, I really don't want to buy nothing else. When I do the tongue, we're going to build the actual frame out of this 2.5 inch stuff. Hate to use it for this, but what I got. I'm not decided on a length yet. I think I've got my width about figured out. We're going to make it 65 inches wide, and then the tires will end up being 72 inches to the hub face. So that'll be just outside the width of the kayaks. And I don't want to build it too wide, so we're going to go with that. So these will have to be, so we'll cut short pieces. I don't even know yet. I'm going to figure out all the measurements, but either way, there'll be 4 short pieces somewhere around 32.5 inches or something like that. One on this side, one on that side, and then whatever kind of spacing we need to mount the springs. I don't even know. And that's where the other frame section will be. We'll probably just cut some of this junk up to kind of make a brace out at the end, because the actual springs will be mounted to this once it's cut and welded onto the tongue. One issue I realized I had, we're using these spindles here. My lathe is currently not running. I can't figure out what's wrong with it. So I need to get it figured out, because I'm going to have to cut this off, back here somewhere, and then put it in the lathe and cut this weld right here down. I might could do it with an angle grinder, I don't know. Alright, so I've got my measurements figured out. We want it to be 65 inches total. Take out the 3 inches for the tongue. I lose 62 inches. Split that in half, 31 inches. We need 4 pieces of this 2.5 at 31 inches. Now I'm in no way affiliated with Evolution Power Tools, but they do make good tools. I love this saw. It's probably one of the best investments I've made as far as cutting metal goes for, you know, my small scale business. I've got their chop saw, and I got the mag drill too. Well pleased with both of them. All right, we need 31 inches. You gotta make sure you wear your earplugs with these things on, because they are loud. Alright, so this here's basically what we're looking at, and then I don't know this spacing yet. I gotta measure the springs. This will be spaced far enough to where the springs mount directly to them. We'll look at some of this just to go right inside there like that. Now we gotta cut some junk off our tongue here. Get it cleaned up a little bit and ready to use. Now we'll just square the other end up. I don't know how long this is gonna have to be yet. Need a little more cleanup. We got some more junk to take off there. We'll have to do a lot more cleanup when it comes to getting that welded together, but for now we're just fitting it up to see what it's going to look like, and we'll go back and actually clean up where we're going to be welding. Alright, so I think our spring will be set at 24.5 inches. So we need 24.5 inches from center to center. Alright. Basically all you do, measure from the outside of that one to the inside of this one. And that'll give you your center measurement. Probably go ahead and cut these. We know what our measurement's got to be. 22 inches. Cut some of these 22 inches and they'll go here. Alright, there's that part. And we got this 1/4 inch flat bars, 3 inches wide, I think, 3 inches wide. We're going to cut something similar to this out of it, but It'll just be sections with a hole drilled in it. We're not going to try bending it or nothing like that, because I don't have no way to. Yeah, I guess I do. I got my shop press, but I don't want to have to make no die to try to bend it. So we'll just cut out sections of it, probably 2-inch sections of it, and then drills a hole in it and we'll weld those on there for the spring hangers. See, I like to salvage stuff when I can. This piece here actually come off of the dump truck bed when we started rebuilding it, and I saved it just for this. And excuse the mess, I don't know how to put my tools up. I'm slowly, just had this shop built last year, and I've been so busy working on other stuff and I ain't really had time to get everything organized in here. But it is in the plan to get everything organized, so I'm sick of it being like this. Get our mag drill set up. The bolts are 9/16, so we're going to use one of these cutters. I'll have to measure them all off and center punch them, so we get our holes in the same spot on every one. Spring hanger. Yeah, we're gonna try to get all this junk cleaned up so we can maybe make something out of it. 79/16. Good. Got the top side welded. Flip it over around the bottom side, and we'll weld our tabs on for the frame hangers. I'm gonna go back and change this, because this only needs to be 1.5 inches wide, because these go on the outside like that. I got some 3/16 wall, 1.5 inch square tubing. Cut a chunk out of it and drill a hole in it and use it. Cut these off completely. There we go. Now we're just gonna cut those back off. I don't know why I done that. Drilled them with the same size bit I drilled the other ones with. Should have drilled them bigger. Alright, I think we're ready now. Maybe. That tacked on there, and then we can do the other side. I built a lot of stuff. I also built these sawmills. I built, I don't know, 8 or 10 of them, I guess. This one's built mostly out of just leftover parts. Came from my old camper frame that all the cross members did. If y'all be interested in seeing more videos on it, just let me know in the comments. I ain't run it much. I used a basically a go-kart clutch with a pulley. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if it was the belt. I was trying to saw a white oak log. It was a big white oak log, a 24-inch diameter. And I don't know if it was the belt slipping or the clutch slipping, but something started smoking real bad. So I shut it down. I want to buy an electric clutch to put on it, but I haven't done it yet. Either way, get back on the kayak trailer when we get it done, get this project out of the way. Because this was nowhere on my priority list. I just thought I had enough stuff to get it knocked out, so I went ahead and started on it. Alright, we'll get our frames all welded together. Then we can move on and get our axle cut in. Alright, since I'm in the situation I'm in with my lathe right now, went back on a search. I ended up finding my other new axle, a new spindle, so we're just going to use it. We'll save these for a future project. We'll go get us a piece of tube and get it cut to length. And then we'll continue on with this project. Alright, we're getting measurements for axle tube. The way I've always done it. Now, I don't know if it's right, but it's just the way I've done it on all the sawmills that I've built. I take my spring center, 62 inches, and then I want 3 inches sticking out both sides. I'll add 6 inches to that, so I need a 68-inch tube. Just double check it out. So, need to cut us actually 68 inches. Let's check that down here. 68 inches is what I need. So I'm gonna square this end up first. It's got kind of a pretty rough cut on it. And we need 68 inches. There's our axle tube. These don't fit very good in there because this one's actually made. These are designed to go on a 2-inch square tube, and so I had another idea to fix that issue to where we can get them in our centered a little better. Got this other old rusty tube here. I think, not 100% sure, but I know it slides over the ends of the spindles. I think it'll slide right in that top too and take up some of that extra space. Oh yeah. We'll cut us a chunk of that off. A couple inches. Now, how we take these, they will slide over that, get welded to that, and that whole thing will slide in there and make that axle centered. Theoretically. Then of course the weld goes around the outside of that tube, kind of against that plate there. So these will just weld on the inside, so we ain't got to do no grinding or nothing. Just like that. Maybe we'll clean them up a little bit, clean this up for the welding the tube on. Just need a bevel on it. Get a better weld on it. Of course, these don't really matter. They're just more or less just to take up space. Weld those on. Then we'll put a axle tube on. Now, something like this too with bearings. Like if I was to ground it right here, I'd be grounding through my bearing. So you need to avoid doing that. Ground it directly to what you're going to be welding on. Because you can weld your bearings together, ruin them. Once they're welded up, now we just slide them in the axle tube and weld in. Very nice. Do that just to protect the rest of the axle. We'll get a little spatter on it. You know, I didn't even think of it, but we should put these on first before we welded the ends on. We could just set them down, set the tube in it, and welded them up, but I forgot all about them until just now. So we're gonna do it a little different, I guess. Alright, there's that part of it done. Still got to gotta put us some uprights on it for the kayaks to sit on. Of course, the first kayaks will just sit. There'll be basically a rack right on the bottom, and then uprights, and probably 3 shelves for kayaks to sit on. Still gotta put the hitch on, gotta make some safety chains and all that stuff, but for the most part, the worst part of it's done at least. We'll get our hitch. It's made to bolt on, but I always just weld them on. I mean, it's easy enough to cut them right back off if something was to happen to the latch or something. Alright, so we're just getting the kayaks and kind of fitting them on the trailer just to see. The bottom level, they may be able to sit flat. Yeah, they probably all sit flat. I was kind of wanting the uprights coming up, and I was kind of wanting to angle the shelves where they kind of want to sit towards the middle, but it might be alright just sitting them flat like that. It won't hurt nothing. Alright, so this is what we're going to build the uprights out of. It's 1.5 by 3/16 square tubing. We got 110 inches there, so we'll just cut it directly in half. I have 2 55-inch uprights, then I'll have to find something to go from one to the other, kind of square it up. Alright, we're gonna get this one cut. We're gonna cut our shelf material. We'll cut them 30 inches a piece. Alright, we'll get another piece. I'll be right back. Tell you what, y'all, YouTube has seems very rare sighting. My little welding table cleaned off. I can actually use it for welding. Don't happen very often. Problem around here, anytime I've got a flat surface, it tends to catch a bunch of crap. But I figured it'd make it easier welding these things together if the table was cleaned off. position on the trailer straight and plumb and all that good stuff. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet. We'll figure it out though. Oh, let's clean that. There's these on it on. Yeah, I can live with that. Yep, we're gonna use that little piece of angle right there to do that top rail with. And then I gotta figure out a way to mount some straps on there. I don't want to be dragging out ratchet straps every time to strap these things down. I want the straps permanently connected. You know, have something connected here that comes down to this point to tighten that in. And then we may paint this one. I usually don't paint none of my stuff, like sawmill for instance. Not a speck of paint on it nowhere. Needs to be painted. I hate painting. I absolutely hate painting. I like welding, I like building stuff, but man, do I hate painting. Yeah, we're gonna get this hitch welded on there. That ain't going nowhere. Alright, now we just need 2 more things to make the shells out of. Bottom. Yeah, now we're just making the straps for the kayak trailer. I don't want to have to deal with the ratchet straps, so I'm using these little zipper straps here. I don't know what they're called, but I was trying to figure out how I was going to mount them. And I figured out I could just fold them 3 times, punch a hole in them. I can just run a screw with a washer on it and attach that to the trailer. So that's what I'm doing here. Just got me a little punch made, heating it up. And I can punch it right through there. And then just like that, now we can go mount that on the trailer. I've got all the rest of them made up. Nope, I got one more to do. So, take fold it twice. And then I'm clamping it in this little piece of metal here just to make it a little easier to get the hole punched through it. Nope, it ain't hard enough. like that. And we'll take and mount those on the trailer. And we just run a screw right through that hole we punched in there. Just like that. Take this, run it through that one, which is attached on the other end. Torque it down. It ain't going nowhere. Cut that off there. I don't need it that long. And take our ladder, burn the end of that so it don't fray off. I just didn't want to have to deal with the ratchet straps on there. They're kind of a pain, especially after a long day of kayaking. You don't want to be dealing with ratchet straps. I don't anyway. So stuff like these would make it a whole lot easier. I only had 5 straps. I had to order some more. So just waiting on them to come in to do the rest of them. Each kayak will have 2 straps. One back here and one up there on the other, on the front. Ain't going nowhere. The backside ain't anyway. We have to get the other strap to go on the front up here. I have more on all 3 of these. And get them all made, and I'm gonna take the wheels back off and probably hang it up with the excavator and paint it one day. Make it look a little nicer. I don't know what kind of paint I got in there, but it'll end up probably being gray or black, because I think I got both of those. Alright. I'm not gonna put a jack on it. I'm gonna make a little kickstand probably. Folds up and down. Oh, it's not heavy. So, there's nothing to take it on and off the truck, so we're gonna made for a jack. That's it. A little spray paint, maybe it'll look a little better. Well, there she is. Got the kayak trailer done. Give y'all walk around. Ain't nothing fancy, but it'll get the kayaks to and fro. And if you like the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos coming up. I don't know what the next one's going to be on, but could be on pond, digging in a pond, or I don't know yet. I'm gonna be building a storm shelter sometime in the near future. What else we got? I got so many projects I can't keep up with them, so y'all just stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss none of them. We'll see you on the next one.